To show the fans that he knows how to teach students.
Yeah, what's up?
Can you help me do this?
Yeah.
Alright, go.
Oh, you haven't posted on your vlog. What happened?
Cause I watched this video, I was like, mine are never gonna be that good. So I had to stop.
Why?
No, I'm just
I liked
kidding.
your vlog.
No, cause he gives me homework every day, so I'm over here grinding like I can't grind and edit. Alright, so my grandma got me a birthday gift that I'm opening up much after my birthday, but here we go, we got an unboxing. Beautiful wrapping. I'm not sure how this is gonna. It's hard with one hand. Oh, okay. Hope it's not expensive. What? It's a tie. Everyone knows to get me a tie. Thank you, Grandma.
You're welcome.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have been doing great. I know I kind of missed last week's video, and the reason for that is because I just kind of got caught up with everything. A lot of stuff was piling onto me at the time, and so I just had to take a break and kind of skip that week. But here I am. I have lots of footage. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I really only have one thing that I wanted to talk about today. And a student asked me, well, Mr. Hernandez, what do you think about teachers having weapons to confront an active school shooter? And I was like, dang, what do I think about that? And I kind of turned it back on the student at the time, but I've had a lot of time to think and reflect about that. What do I think? Should I be armed? Should I go through training to confront an active shooter? That's not what I think teachers should be used for. There are really only certain people who should be trained in military tactics, and that's one, the military, and two, the police. Now, I do understand that a lot of teachers have gone through the military and have gone through military training. I went through a little bit myself. If you guys have heard about my story, I'll do a video on my story probably at a little later date. You know, just in an active shooter situation, I feel like for me, my priority is going to be protect the students. Protect the students, put them in a situation where they can say hello and hug their parents and their friends and their loved ones again once the active shooter situation has ended. And for me, that is, as soon as I hear about an active shooter situation, or if there's one going on near me, I pull all my students and put them in the corner where they cannot be seen, and I lock the door, I turn the lights off, everything's done, and then everyone is quiet. And we stay like that as long as we need to stay like that. You have heard of active shooter situations, you've seen them on the news. I feel like there's been 2 happening every year, and honestly, it's quite a scary thing. I don't want to ever feel like I'm in a school that's unsafe. You know, I feel like school should be a safe place. And so I think the situation that I find myself in is, if someone was intent on harming myself or my students in my classroom, I would do my best to protect my students and to protect myself at the same time, and whatever that entailed. I feel like I want everyone to get home safely. I myself want to get home to my family and to be able to stay safe and continue living my life. Having said that, beforehand, I was in a position where I was going to put myself in situations where I was not going to be safe. I was going to join the military. I was going to answer my nation's call. And my father has been in that. I've had other family members who have gone through the military. And that's something that I knew beforehand, and I was willing to make that decision for myself. As a teacher and as teachers, I feel like we That's not something that we know before, and that's not why we are entering that field to protect others. We are entering the field to grow citizens. And so I do not think teachers should be armed, but I do believe that we need to be prepared for these situations. That's why I wanted to talk about this week. I know it's like a really heavy subject. I want you guys to know, like, when we have lockdowns, when we have bomb threat drills, we are doing that so you are used to being in that situation. And again, the training helps put you in that situation so you can be successful in those situations and handle it appropriately. And when we're putting you in that situation, we're saying, like, look, hopefully we don't have to do this, but this is what you do if this should happen. Don't goof off during those drills. Be safe. Be cognizant about why we're doing that. I feel like we're not always cognizant of, we're not always thinking, I'm doing this because this could happen and I need to take it seriously. And one thing as students that you guys should do to prevent that is, and as teachers and as an entire school community, I think the thing that we need to eliminate first is violence in our school. Now, I look around and I see a lot of violence happening every single day, and I would call those kind of like micro students pushing each other. And yeah, so like it might be fun and stuff, but I mean, I just heard about a fight that happened in the bathroom across from my room, and when that stuff is going on, like, why should people feel safe? And if people are getting bullied in the bathrooms or getting pushed down the stairs or, things like that, students aren't going to feel safe. So I feel like it's kind of up to myself as a teacher and up to you guys as students to really kind of come at it from an angle where it is our school and we want everyone to be included. I've already broken up 2 fights in the hallway. Thankfully, none of them have been with my students or in my classroom. But even last year, I feel like there was a lot of violence in and around my classroom. Students bullying, students threatening myself. I think that that's something that could be very detrimental to our school. And that is going to invite more violence. So I think our responsibility as teachers is to protect and educate our students, and then your responsibility is to follow through, to think, what is this doing? What could this escalate to be? Now, a fight could be a fight, but what could it be tomorrow? You guys aren't going to be holding hands and being friends after a fight. That's not going to happen. Like, you guys are going to still hate each other the next day. So communicate with your teachers. We are trained in ways to kind of handle abuse and violence and bullying. And I think if you get a teacher that you trust, like the student who brought this to my attention, sure, it was an assignment, but I felt like in some ways it was kind of a trusted position that we were in. So Talk to your teachers. If you see something, then you should say something to someone that you trust and respect, who is in a position to protect you. I want all my students to feel safe, and I want to feel safe myself, and I want my family to know that I'm safe at my school. Sure, we can say like the Jefferson family, but just take this to heart. I want everyone to know that I will protect my students, but I'm not going to protect my students by confronting an active shooter. I'm going to protect y'all by making sure you guys are trained and safe and tucked away in a corner where no one can harm you. Having said that, stay tuned for the rest of the video. My name is Mr. Hernandez. Keep working hard. Stay safe.
So a spider just came out of my sock. Here it is. That thing crawled on me and it tried to eat me, and it suffered the consequences. Alright.
Do I pose? What's going on?
No, you just tell me, do you have any good stories from this week? Anything good happen?
Murder.
Not murder, preferably.
I learned at least 4 new songs on bass.
Oh, you play
I
bass?
do, and I love
Why do
it
you
with my
work?
heart.
Wow.
Best thing I've ever decided to do.
Okay, are you gonna be in the talent show?
That is not something I am willing to do just yet. Give me a few years and maybe I'll play for everybody.
Alright, have a great